Hey guys, welcome to this week's Thought Flash. This is Dr. Joe Borio with Chiropassion Consulting. Wanted to share some thoughts with you today. I think one of the thoughts I want to share with you is on clarity. My question to you is, do you feel that there's a sense of clarity? Do you feel as though there's a sense of confidence in what you do every day? And I will tell you that many of the clients I work with, certainly when they started, many people I talked to on the phone, many docs who are out there looking for an answer, and maybe they're looking for a coach, certainly question the idea of what it is they do, question what it is they're trying to do. We get on this merry-go-round. You get on this circle and you want to see more people, see more people, see more people, but we're going in a circle. We don't have a direction. You're not going to get anywhere in a circle, if that makes sense. You want to go in a direction, and you need to plug in where it is you want to go. And I think some docs forget the idea of creating or manifesting, if you will, their vision, their dream in life, or if you will, their dream in practice. So let's talk about that for a minute. We're going to certainly talk a lot more about it in Philadelphia. We're going to be having an event in Philadelphia with myself leading the ship. We've got Dr. Pete Lombardi, who has come along to help us out, and Dr. Otto Jenke, who is going to also help us out, along with some other speakers. We're going to be offering 12 CE credits. It's going to be July 18th and 19th. So before I go any further, just take a visit, if you will, at the end of this video at chiropassionconsulting.com. It's got a lot of information. I'd certainly love to see you there. And those are some of the things we talk about. We talk about communication and clarity and confidence and vision and certainty and ways to develop your own passion and your own philosophy. When I say that, connect your own philosophy, if you will, to the power of what it is you have, what it is you do. But on top of that, how do you plug it into your practice? I think some people will go to events and they hear things and they're like, okay, well, that sounds good and rah, 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 but what the hell do I do now? How do I serve people better? How do I serve more people? How do I try to get people to get it? That seems to be the challenge. And then many times docs end up in that circle where now we're just treating people and aches and pains, whether it be their back or neck or headache or arm, knee, ankle, what have you, as opposed to really clearly identifying what it is you're trying to do. What is it that you're trying to do? So one of my simple examples has been the 30-second drill. I remember listening to Reggie Gold talk about trying to explain chiropractic and how simple and easy and how much faster it is for somebody who's a master, if you will, of chiropractic. And that resonated with me in many ways, because I was thinking, well, why don't we just come up with a simple, easy way to master the simple explanation of chiropractic? So that's something certainly you can watch on YouTube, or on our website. But I think when people start to ask you questions, or you question yourself, we can go into the 33 principles. We can get into a philosophical, metaphysical discussion of what it is we do, certainly as chiropractors. And I think that's helpful. But let's step way back for a minute and you can ask yourself, you can ask a person, a practice member, a family member, somebody who comes up and says, I don't believe, if you will, in chiropractic. You hear that a lot. Let me ask you a question. What tells your body what to do? Remind yourself what tells your body what to do. Your brain. You can lose an arm, you could lose both arms, you could lose your legs, you can lose a good portion of your torso and organs, for that matter. Those aren't the organs or systems, if you will, that keep you alive. What brings life to your body, what allows you to be animated, what allows your body to function and move and regulate every cellular activity is the brain. The brain is constantly sending commands and information, as I've discussed before, in texts and emails and little packages of bits of data that are pulsating through a vibration or tone that go through your nervous system and out to your cells, and then those cells send information back up to the brain. I mean, that is how it works. That's not a philosophical, metaphysical explanation of the mechanical aspect of the body. Now, you may get into some deep discussions of what's in the package and where does the package come from? Where does that package of data originate from? Well, that's a different conversation, and you can look at our philosophy and the metaphysical explanation of what it is we stand upon to find some clarity in those questions. But simply put, to break it down to the simple aspect of what it is you do, we all can agree in every level of science that the brain tells the body what to do, and the brain communicates through electrical signals through the nervous system, out through roots, channels along the side of the spine, and out to the systems of the body. And when the spine loses mobility or alignment, a subluxation is either going to be a misalignment or a loss of mobility to a section of the spine that's going to affect the nervous system. And I think, when we start wording what we do as, let me see if you have a chiropractic problem, I find that's disingenuous to what we do. If you have a spine, then you have a subluxation at some point, at some time in your life. I mean, that is what it is. The spine is an organ under stress constantly, and that's from many different things, as you know, posture and the physical aspects of our life, the emotional trauma and stress that we all endure, as well as the chemical bombardment that we live in. All of those aspects of life in the environment that we live in are going to cause stress upon the spine. So the spine is going to misalign. It's going to get fixated, if you will, and it's going to jeopardize the integrity of the nervous system. That's the way it is. And we know through science that anytime there's misalignment or pressure caused by a stretching of the nerve root or the cord through loss of mobility, the spinal nerves, the cord, will lose their what's called electrical conductivity. It'll lose their ability to transmit electrical impulses. Now, that doesn't mean that the impulses are always lost. Sometimes you're going to get an increase from body cell to, if you will, the brain cell. So tissue cell to brain cell, you may get a greater input in, greater input out, based upon that subluxation. We know that. So the tone, if you will, that occurs at that level of subluxation is going to be affected. Many times there's going to be a loss of signal in. Sometimes there's going to be a loss of signal out. But we know that there's going to be a disruption at the level of nerve communication. And therefore, if we know that the spine is an organ under stress all the time, we know that the brain tells the body what to do, we know that those messages go through the spinal canal, through the roots, we know that the spine will always lose mobility or alignment, we know that it's going to cause a disruption in the nervous system anytime that it does. Now, we understand there's degrees of subluxation. Some degrees of subluxation can cause more disruption of the nervous system than others. But I mean, who wants to walk around with a 1% loss in nerve function? And what's the accumulative effect of that, of 1% loss of nerve function? So we know that by use of your hands, you can locate, certainly identify and analyze, reduce and correct those misalignments or loss of mobility within the spine, which in turn, which we've seen, again, scientifically, will enhance, increase the ability of the nervous system to send communication. So we're not adding anything to the body, we're removing the interference and removing the obstruction to health, as D.D. Palmer put it. That's what you do. There's 100% scientific fact to that. That's not a philosophical system of principles. That's not a metaphysical pitcher of Kool-Aid you have to swallow. That is the way it is. And the body will always work better with a better intact nervous system. There's hundreds of scientific references to back that up. So, at some point, when I hear people talk about practicing evidence-based chiropractic, I get that, but at the same time, I think the reality is science is what it is. 2 + 2 is 4. You press on the nerve, the body doesn't work as well because the spine's out of alignment or stuck. Reduce that through a very specific scientific chiropractic adjustment, and the body will restore or certainly improve upon its ability to communicate. And the end result is always health. I mean, if you eat better, your body's going to be healthier. If you exercise, your body's always going to be healthier. If you live in a cleaner, healthier environment, your body's going to be healthier. And if you get your spine checked for misalignment and get that checked, analyzed, reduced, your body's always going to be healthier. I mean, that really is as simple as it is. And because the spine is an organ that's under stress forever, while you're alive, your spine should be checked. I mean, we spend tons of money checking our car. We spend all kinds of money every couple of years getting the most up-to-date cell phone and computers. We spend lots of money making our teeth get cleaned regularly and flossed and brushed and get professionally worked on, and on and on and on. Yet we often ignore the most essential aspect of what brings life to the body. And I find that confusing, but I also realize that it's something that you can't see, it's intangible, and as a result, it's almost tough to explain, yet we see it all the time. We know that that's the way it is. Your job as a chiropractor is going to have to be, or certainly measured by, your ability to communicate effectively and bring that message to other people. And you have to come up with tools, better skill sets to bring that message to other people, because the world is subluxated. The world is not working with a healthy nervous system. It's just like the space NASA system working with bad computers, or your car working with a bad computer, or you working with a poor cell signal. I mean, we all know data information transmission is not going to work as well. So who wants to be walking around with less data to my liver, my pancreas, my heart, my lung, my immune system, my joints, my spine, my leg, whatever? Nobody. But you need to be effective in your ability to communicate that message to the world. And if we do that, two things, wonderful things are going to happen. One, we will come together as a profession. We are not together as a profession. We will come together as a profession. And secondly, the world will start to see the value of what it is we do. And they'll start to identify the necessity of a healthy nervous system. Even though they know they need it, they don't understand what the spine or nervous system will do when it's subluxated, and what it is you do in an effort to reduce the subluxation, what the real effect of that is, what's the real value of that, how effective, if you will, the efficacy of that is in their overall ability to function, not just so they don't hurt, but their ability to have healthy bodies, their brain, creativity, energy, imagination. All of those things are enhanced or improved upon with a healthier nervous system. So that's certainly what we got to focus on. Those are things we talk about. We talk about a lot of science, a lot of philosophy, a lot of pragmatic application, the skill set, the nuts and bolts of applying that day-to-day in practice. Love to see you in Philadelphia, July 18th and 19th, with me, Dr. Pete Lombardi, Dr. Otto Jenke, along with others. And you're going to be around some of the best chiropractors around, certainly in the United States and around the world. People who are dedicated to improve their lives and certainly improve the lives of others. Serve others, certainly at a greater level than you serve yourself. And that's certainly one of the missions of what we do here at Chiropractic Consulting. This has been Dr. Joe Borio. Thanks for joining me over these few minutes with our Thought Flash at Chiropractic Consulting. Hopefully I'll see you in Philadelphia. If not, join us on our website, chiropassionconsulting.com. It has a list of all our events through 2014 and 2015. Hopefully I'll see you at an event. And if you're looking for a coach, I'd certainly be honored and love the opportunity to work with you at any point. Thanks so much, guys.